Okay, book people, I want you to brace yourselves. I want you to sit here and hold on to your chairs, because this might be the most controversial opinion I've ever had, and I've had a lot of them. Like, I can already hear the hate comments rattling through the keyboard warriors' minds. Here it is. I love prologues. Yeah. Yep, that sound you just heard, half the book collective fainting, the other half sharpening their Goodreads reviews into spears. And then there's that one guy who's already typing, actually, I've never read a prologue in my life and it turned out fine. No, you didn't, Kevin. Sit down. Let's be real. My name is Darv James. Welcome to this episode of The Bald Book Geek. Like, sub, do the usual, and check out Patreon, Substack, and channel memberships for exclusive content you'll never get anywhere else, and if you want to support this weird little corner of the internet. Here's the thing. I don't get people who skip prologues. Like, proudly admit it too. Oh, I never read them. They don't matter. Excuse me? That's like saying I didn't watch the opening of a movie because I'm too cool for context. Imagine walking into the Fellowship of the Rings 15 minutes late. You miss the epic narrative opening, the forgings of the rings, Sauron being smacked down with a sword. But sure, you'll figure it out. No, you won't, Dave. That's why you're confused halfway through and whispering in the cinema, wait, why is everyone so mad at this jewelry? And honestly, skipping prologues doesn't make you clever, it just makes you the person who shows up at a wedding halfway through the vows and asks who's getting married. That's being honest. Now let's be fair. Not all prologues are created equally. Some are terrible. You open a fantasy book and bam, 6 pages of world history, a map with 42 unpronounceable place names, and a prophecy that sounds like it was written by a hungover fortune cookie. That's not a prologue, that's homework. Or the infamous info dump prologue, where the author just vomits all their notes into the pages before before they even thought about weaving anything into the story. Those, yeah. Even I'll skip sometimes because no, I don't need a full economic breakdown of what trade between 2 fictional nations happened before chapter 1. Thanks though. So yeah, I'll admit, there are bad prologues, but here's the thing. A few bad apples doesn't ruin the whole tree. If one pizza is bad, I don't go, wait, that's it? Pizza as a concept is over? But when a prologue is good, it's magic. A good prologue sets the pacing. It gives you mood, tone, atmosphere, something different. Sometimes it just throws you straight into the action. Sometimes it plants a little mystery into your brain. Sometimes it gives you a glimpse into the bad guy's perspective, or a tragedy that won't make sense until the very end. And when it gives you that, and when you finally get that, oh, you're like, yes, this is why. Think about movies. Even James Bond starts with a big, flashy, ridiculous stunt. Bond skiing down a mountain, shooting a helicopter, drinking a martini while a building explodes behind him. That's a prologue. Do you skip those? No, because they are... Well, they're because you'd be nuts. Let's be real. If you were skipping those prologues of those classic Bond movies, you would be nuts. Or horror films. How many great ones start with a terrifying cold opener before you meet the main characters? That's the prologue telling you, hey, bad things are coming, enjoy your popcorn. Books are the same. The prologue is a mood setter, a scene establisher. The part that whispers, this is the kind of story you're in for. And look, sometimes I think readers who skip prologues are just scared of commitment. It's the same energy of, I don't start a TV show until season 3. What, why? Do you also skip foreplay? Yeah, I went there, and yes, someone's already rage typing prologues are unnecessary fluff. But you know what? Fluff can be nice. Fluff is pillows, fluff is kittens, fluff is marshmallows and hot chocolate. Don't hate on fluff. Let me give you a couple of examples. Ever read a thriller where the prologue shows you the murder? Faceless, brutal, terrifying. Then chapter 1 cuts to a detective having breakfast. That's gold. Because now even pancakes, every pancake he eats, you're thinking about the body. The tension lives in your head because of the prologue. Or the fantasy series where you see the big bad do something awful in the prologue, and then you don't see them again for half the book. That's a promise. That's the author saying, don't get comfortable, the monster is coming back. And then there are prologues that only click when you finish the book. You close it and your brain rewinds to that page, and suddenly you go, wait, that was the ending all along? That's a chef's kiss storytelling moment. That's being honest. So to everyone who skips them, what are you afraid of? Commitment? Words on a page? Is your life so busy that you can't spend 5 extra minutes? You'll binge 10 hours of Netflix in one sitting, but you can't manage 6 pages of setup. Really? And don't tell me prologues don't matter. They matter because the author chose to put them there. They're part of the vision. Skipping them is like looking at a painting and covering the top half of your hand because, it's optional. So yeah, that's my hot take of the day. Prologues are good. Sometimes they're great, and skipping them will make no sense to me. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're in the life's too short, I skip every prologue club. Or maybe you're like me and the prologue is the first thing that hooks you into a story. So drop a comment below. Are you team prologue or team skip? And if you're team skip, please explain yourself. Defend your crimes in the comments section. Because to me, skipping a prologue is like walking into a play halfway through Act 1. Sure, you're technically there, but you're missing the opening notes that told you what kind of story you're actually in for. And honestly, that's just sad. So there we go. Like I said at the beginning, if you want to support my weird little corner of the internet, check out Substack, Patreon, and YouTube memberships. And like, sub, and tell me what you think in the comments below. I'll be here, judging you silently. Or not so silently, depending on how snarky the comments are.